Well, they say you have death, you have taxes, and it seems we now have Sprinter Sacre. Absolutely awesome last season in his novice campaign. Whether he can be beaten or not, well, this is what the two gentlemen on the right are going to tell me in the next 10 seconds. So, Nick Watts, does Sprinter Sacre win the Queen Mother Champion Chase?
Yes, he does.
And Graham Rodway?
Yep.
Okay, well, thanks for watching it. No, I'm just kidding. Right, basically what we're going to do, look, we're not going to waffle on and glorify Sprinter Sacre. Everyone knows how brilliant he is. He's absolutely scintillating. What's going to come second, what's each way bet, and what's potentially going to shorten between now and race day. Look, there's so many doubts about the runners here. I'm just going to go straight into you then, Nick. I mean, where's your idea of the runner-up to Sprinter Sacre?
The most logical option is Sanctuaire, primarily because we know that he's going to run, whereas, like you said, several others are probably not going to run. Fleming Star, it all depends what he does in Ireland on his next outing. It'd be great to see him here, but it's doubtful. Unless he capitulates massively in his next run, he's going to come for this. Still got the Ryanair. Sizing Europe, likewise. Got the Ryanair and got the Gold Cup. Finian's Rainbow obviously comes from the same camp, could go for the Ryanair. So you're left with Sanctuaire, and you made the point earlier that they might try different tactics with him. He's already been beaten handsomely once by Sprinter Sacre. On that occasion, obviously, he tried to run the finish out of him, go from the front, stretch him. Obviously, didn't work, and they might apparently try hold-up tactics this time, which is what worked so well in the Fred Winter. Slight issue with that is that there's 24 runners in the Fred Winter, so it's easier to bury him and come from behind than it is in a smaller field. As we saw before his renaissance last season, he was held up and he pulled so hard in his races that he wasn't getting home and became really mulish. And his return to form coincided with when they started front running with him. So whether he'd appreciate going back to hold-up tactics or not, I don't know. But
it was on the back of Ruby Roll saying he settled so well in the Desert Orchid Chase last time. He feels he could do that now.
Well, I mean, it's a possibility. It's worth trying. You've got to have a go. You've got to try something, haven't you? Because front running hasn't worked against Sprinter Sacre. So what do they lose by trying to hold him up? So yeah, definitely worth a try. And he's definitely going to run. So he's probably the most likely horse to finish second to Sprinter Sacre.
And you suppose you get 3-1 for coming second. So yeah, that would be the play. And Graham, are you agreeing with Nick Watts?
You can't, surely.
I think it's quite an interesting one, really, because I think a lot of us will probably have a bet in the Queen Mother Champion Chase on the day, and very few of us will probably back Sprinter Sacre, even though we all think he's going to win. But really, if you're going to have a bet on the day, you might as well have a bet now, because if you have an anti-post bet, at least you've got the chance that maybe Sprinter Sacre might not get there. And if he didn't get there, then you could end up with actually having a realistic chance of winning. Whereas on the day, if you have a bet in the race, you're almost certainly throwing the win part away, because I think the Sprinter Sacre is going to bolt up if he gets there. There are a couple of doubts about him if something can get him into the trenches. Over hurdles, he did a couple of times not appear to find that much off the bridle. He certainly traded very short prices when he was beaten out by Alfaroff in the Supreme. But the problem is there's nothing out there that looks good enough to get him into a battle.
And he's improved tenfold for the step defences.
And he seems even stronger this year, and I think he'll win. So if you're looking for the second, there's very few in there. Simon Tig's in there with a run. I can't see him running unless something happens to Sprinter Sacre. Fleming Star is probably going to run in the Gold Cup, would you say, or the Ryanair?
No one really knows, I don't think. Yeah.
We don't really know. We'll see how that goes. But I would say Fleming Star's a more likely runner elsewhere. And then you're looking at the two that fought out the finish last year: Finian's Rainbow and Sizing Europe. Finian's Rainbow might not run. It might run in the Ryanair. Sizing Europe might run if the ground was on the soft side. He might give it another go. However, if he couldn't beat Finian's Rainbow last year at the age of 10, then I can't really see him beating Sprinter Sacre at the age of 11. And there hasn't been a horse at that age win it since I think 1977 or something ridiculous.
Moscow
Sorry,
Flyer.
the only one is Moscow Flyer. The only one apart from. And he was obviously
one in 30 years, basically. So,
he was obviously absolutely spectacular in his time and was a superstar. And I don't think the Sizing Europe is quite up to Moscow's class.
They're racing up towards the finish. Sizing Europe, all out. Ruby Light is closing, but the winning post will come in time for Sizing Europe to score again. Back over 2 miles and a furlong, and Sizing Europe.
Sanctuaire is the obvious horse who is going to be placed, I think. He's rated 167. I think that's £12 below Sprinter Sacre. But he's unbeaten over fences, apart from when Sprinter Sacre beat him at Sandown. But I don't think that he was at his best that day, Sanctuary. I don't think Sanctuary is that far off Sprinter Sacra's level. I think he's probably about £6 or £7 below Sprinter Sacra's level. And if you back him each way at 12-1, as you said, that's 3-1 for a place. That's fair. And if Sprinter Sacra doesn't get there, he'll probably win it.
So there we go then. Well, I'm in agreement with you two as well. I don't know what's happened here. We're all in agreement. Basically, Sprinter Sacra bolts up. Sanctuary finishes second. There's your exactas sorted. And, well, we'll see you all again soon.